Good evening and thanks for joining us. This is ASU Television News. My name is Usman Khartoum Umar. First, the headlines. FCT states to get livestock development centers. Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, warns illegal miners after fatal plateau pit collapse. Kwali Area Council Chairman approves additional solar-powered boreholes. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll begin with from the presidency with an update on the Osun State election, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says the outcome of Saturday's Osun State governorship election has demonstrated that democracy is flourishing in Nigeria. In a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president personally telephoned Governor Ademola Adeleke to congratulate him on his re-election. President Tinubu praised the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and security agencies, including the media, for conducting a peaceful and transparent election, urging Governor Adeleke to show magnanimity in victory and unite the state across political divides. The INEC returning officer, Professor Joshua Olalekan Ogunwole, declared Adeleke winner after polling 511,067 votes to defeat his closest challenger, Bola Oyebamiji of the All Progressives Congress, APC, who scored 444,815 votes. Najim Salam of the African Democratic Congress placed third with 17,180 votes, while ADC's Salam has congratulated the governor. The APC announced it is reviewing the results with its legal team to decide its next course of action. In his response, Governor Adeleke expressed gratitude to voters of Osun State for renewing his mandate and reaffirmed his endorsement of President Tinubu's second-term bid. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated former military President General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, retired, on his 85th birthday, praising him as a leader who has impacted Nigeria in ways no other leader has done. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu described the elder statesman as an outstanding leader whose military career culminated in his assumption of national leadership following the 1985 coup. President Tinubu emphasized that Babangida's 8th-year reign left enduring marks on the country's political, economic, and geographical landscape, noting that its economic expansion, infrastructure development, and creation of key national institutions continue to serve the country today. The president also credited Babangida's foresight, wisdom, and sense of fairness with the creation of several states across the federation, asserting that his name and legacy will remain indelible in the nation's history. Concluding his tribute, President Tinubu noted that the former military ruler continues to offer valuable guidance from his Minna hilltop residence in Niger State, while wishing him continued grace, good health, and renewed strength. Civil society organizations have applauded the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and security agencies for what they described as commendable and professional conduct during the 2026 Osun State governorship election. The groups made up of the Community Advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative and the Center for Integrated Community and Social Development disclosed their preliminary findings on Sunday while briefing journalists in Osogbo after the announcement of the election results. The team lead of the INEC accredited civil society observers, Kunle Yusuf, said 197 trained and non-partisan observers were deployed to 30 local government areas of the state. According to Yusuf, the observers evaluated the election in line with the Electoral Act 2026, INEC guidelines, and the internationally accepted electoral standards. He said INEC demonstrated better preparedness for the exercise, especially with the early deployment of personnel and sensitive election materials to most polling units.
INEC has demonstrated improved logistics with earlier deployment of the personnel and material to most of the polling units. Fundamentally, the functionality of the BVAS and RF portal is a welcome development that enhances transparency and public confidence. 2. Security apparatus. Nigeria Civil Defense, Police, Nigeria Police Force, and other security agencies demonstrated professionalism and a clear understanding of electoral security procedure. and security personnel deployment. The environment was largely peaceful and devoid of widespread violence.
Yusuf added that the observers monitored activities before, during and after the election, including proceedings at polling units, collation centers and areas identified as electoral flashpoints. The organizations, however, called on INEC to improve the prompt transmission of results and resolve the technical difficulties recorded during the election. The chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, has approved the construction of additional solar-powered borehole projects across 6 communities in the area council as part of efforts to improve access to clean and safe drinking water for residents. The initiative is expected to address water supply challenges in the benefiting communities, while also improving sanitation, hygiene, and the overall well-being of the people. The benefiting communities cut across 6 wards of the council and include Anguan Sariki in Kwali Central Ward, Pai Market Area in Pai Ward, Kuka Village in Ashara Ward, Bodo Community in Yangoji Ward, Nite Village in Yebu Ward, and Dapa Village in Wako Ward. The provision of the solar-powered boreholes is also expected to reduce the difficulties faced by residents, particularly women and children, who often travel long distances in search of potable water. The project further demonstrates the administration's commitment to providing basic social amenities and improving the living conditions of the people across the various communities in Kwali Area Council. Residents of the benefiting communities are expected to take ownership of the facilities and ensure their proper maintenance and protection for the benefit of present and future generations. The approval is another step toward addressing critical community needs and ensuring that more residents have access to reliable and sustainable water sources of potable water. The people of Kwali Area Council have expressed appreciation to the chairman for the continued commitment to grassroots development and his determination to provide projects that have direct positive impact on the lives of the people. The media team to the executive chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, Mr. Christopher Zakka Mekalongu, has dismissed claims that the chairman failed to fulfill promises to people, describing the allegations as misleading and politically motivated. In a signed statement by Sananu Jacob, Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the AMAC chairman, the administration said it took note of an open letter by one engineer Samuel Musa of Orozo Ward, alleging that the chairman abandoned the Gade community and other stakeholders. The statement said the writer failed to specify the said promises and their timelines, adding that attempts to profile an ethnic community to whip up sentiment is a perversive method, quote and unquote, that people of good conscience should reject. According to the media team, residents across all 12 electoral wards have attested that Mekalongu remains a leader for all, irrespective of ethnicity, political affiliation, religion, or community. It said the administration has pursued an all-inclusive approach, ensuring that projects in infrastructure, healthcare, education, security, youth and women empowerment are spread across the council. On the specific reference to the Gade people, the statement said the administration recognizes and appreciates the contributions of every community to AMAC's growth. It stressed that development should not be reduced to political rewards, noting that public office is a trust to serve all residents. The chairman's team said it welcomes constructive criticism and dialogue and reaffirmed that Mekalongu remains accessible to stakeholders, traditional institutions, youth, women and professional groups. The Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Mahiha, has said the federal government is strengthening collaboration with state, the FCT and private investors to transform Nigeria's livestock sector through the establishment of commercially driven livestock development centers. Mahiha disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja, where he clarified the government's livestock development center concept and outlined the roles of the federal government, state and private sectors in driving the initiative. He explained that the Livestock Development Center model was designed to create a practical platform for implementing the government's livestock transformation agenda and attracting private capital into the sector. According to the minister, the centers would not be government-owned, Farms will not be government-owned farms where the government would undertake all commercial activities, but open and regulated platforms where private investors, producers and cooperatives could develop profitable livestock businesses. He said each participating state would be allowed to select the livestock species or value chain that best suits its agroecology, feed and water resources, producer base, market demand and investment potential. He said the federal government would provide national policies, technical standards and animal health protocols, food safety requirements, traceability systems, data and regulatory coordination. Every state, he explained, should provide suitable and properly documented land, local infrastructure, community engagement, security coordination and producer mobilization, while private livestock would finance and operate the commercial components. Maiha said the Federal Capital Territory Administration had reserved a large expanse of 33,000 hectares of land for livestock settlements under the City Master Plan. Maiha said discussions were ongoing with the FCT administration to rehabilitate other livestock facilities and integrate them into the settled livestock production system. He said the framework is assigned clear responsibilities to the federal government, states and private investors. And in case you're just tuning in, you're watching ASO Television News. Remember, you can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and on Free TV 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still ahead in the news, Alake warns illegal miners after fatal plateau pit collapse. For detail of these and more stories, do stay with us. We'll be back after this short break.
In Biggie's house, there's no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking. When the world watches, will you be outshined? Or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Naija Season 11 starts Sunday, July 26th, showing 24/7 on DSTV channel 198 and GoTV channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
The federal government has issued a stern warning to illegal miners to cease illicit operations following a fatal mine collapse in Plateau State. 7 people died when an unlicensed tin mine collapsed in Kassa, Barkin Ladi local government area. In a statement by its media aide Lara Owoye-Wise, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, described the tragedy as entirely avoidable. He urged artisanal operators across the country to form cooperatives and obtain formal permits to access field training and safer livelihoods. To prevent future disasters, Minister Alake announced that the government has rehabilitated 59 abandoned mining sites and activated the Environmental Protection Rehabilitation Fund to enforce mandatory site restoration. The ministry is also deploying satellite GIS mapping and artificial intelligence in a pilot project across Plateau State to map abandoned sites and partner with private sector to private investors to convert remaining pits into fishery, energy and tourism hubs. The Kebbi State Police Command has arrested a 19-year-old woman in Zuru local government area of the state for allegedly stealing a newborn and presenting the child to her husband as her own. The incident reportedly occurred on July 23, 2025, when the suspect allegedly visited Fatima Muhammad shortly after she gave birth and offered to assist her by fetching hot water. According to the police, the suspect allegedly used the opportunity to flee with the newborn instead of returning with the water. Preliminary investigations revealed that the suspect had allegedly been under social and emotional pressure over her inability to have a child, particularly as some of her peers had already given birth. The police said she allegedly deceived her husband for about 9 months into believing that she was pregnant, and after the birth of the stolen baby, allegedly took the child and presented it to him as their own. The suspect was arrested on August 14, 2026, following sustained police investigation. The stolen baby was subsequently recovered and safely reunited with the biological mother. The police said the suspect remains in custody and will be charged to court after the conclusion of investigations and in accordance with applicable law. The national chairman of the Imams Initiative Forum, Ustaz Dr. Tajuddin Bello, has called on Imams and their muazzims, that is those who call prayers, to always demonstrate trustworthiness in their leadership and dealings with their subjects for the promotion of a better society. Ustaz Bello made the call in Gwagwalada at a one-day leadership and sensitization workshop organized by the Guidance and Counseling Committee of Phase 3 Mosque Gwagwalada. Our correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports.
Participants at the one-day leadership and sensitization workshop comprising imams, muazzims, and members of mosque committees were drawn from various mosques across Gwagwalada metropolis. The national chairman of the Imams Initiative Forum and Muslim community leader Wuse Zone 3, Ustaz Dr. Tajuddin Bello, and Ambassador Sani Salawa Bala Wamban Katsina in their presentation spoke on the qualities and characteristics of a successful imam, as well as the importance of effective communication in leadership and management.
He must be equipped with knowledge because his position is a position of those who are knowledgeable. Secondly, he must apply wisdom with the knowledge. Thirdly, he must implement the content of knowledge practically. He must be extra patient and persevere, and especially with his followers.
We are able to present issues pertaining to writing minutes and files and filing system and maintenance of records and storage as well as retrieval of records.
Declaring the workshop open, Dr. Murtala Mohamed Lawal, chairman of the occasion and chairman of Phase 3 Mosque Gwagwalada, said there was always a need for religious leaders to come together, share knowledge, and update themselves for the benefit of the mosques and the general public.
So the essence of it, obviously, objectively, is to update our knowledge and to conscientize ourselves to the services of Allah, most especially as mosque is concerned, and also which will extend to the general community, that our relationships with the mosque and the community entirely.
Alhaji Manir Yari, a retired controller of immigration and chairman of the Guidance and Counseling Committee of Phase 3 Mosques, and the chairman of the organizing committee, Alhaji Mahmoud Aliyu Kadri, shed more light on the objective of the workshop.
The whole motive behind this current workshop is for us to see how we can synergize and we can sensitize our imams and ladans and all the officials of the committees.
First and foremost, all the invitees came, the resource persons came, and the participants also came. Only few, about 3 or 4 people didn't come for the workshop. And the delivery, the lecture delivery has been very, very outstanding.
Highlight of the workshop was a question and answer session, which was followed by the presentation of gift to the 2 resource persons. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, has rolled out a new initiative known as Brian Project, which aims at providing support to over 100,000 young entrepreneurs across the country on a yearly basis. SMEDAN, in a statement, disclosed that the Brian Project is expected to build resilient young Nigerian entrepreneurs, noting that Brian Project was part of the agency's activities to marking the 2026 International Youth Day. Speaking, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of SMEDAN, Mr. Charles Odi, acknowledged that the initiative was designed to provide practical support to young Nigerians at different stages of entrepreneurship. On her part, Head of SMEDAN Women and Youth Unit, Mrs. Binkbe Fawale, explains that Brian will be delivered through 4 major channels targeting young entrepreneurs in communities, tertiary institutions, and online. The statement further indicates that the program brought together enterprise training, incubation mentorship, access to finance, market opportunities, and business development support. Acting Director of Corporate Communications and Investors Relations, Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mrs. Akama Sidi Ali, has received the 2026 Spokesperson of the Year award for the second time, with the first in 2024. The recognition was announced in Abuja during the 6th National Spokespersons Awards and the 4th Economic Confidential Annual Lecture organized by Image Merchants Promotion Limited, IMPR, publishers of PR Nigeria, Economic Confidential and Spokespersons Digest. Chairperson of the awards jury, Professor Saudat Abdul Baqi, at the event disclosed that the 2026 edition attracted 171 nominations from across the country. Chairperson of the award added that the award followed a rigorous evaluation process based on 4 key criteria of impact, innovation, and originality, campaign reach, and quality of evidence. Professor Abdul Baqi explains that after an initial screening, only entries meeting the required standards of clarity, measurable impact, and verifiable evidence progressed to subsequent stages of evaluation with the CBN director as winner. Mrs. Akama Sidi Ali made history as the first female spokesperson in the CBN's 66-year history, as appointed by the CBN governor, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, in 2023. Now, the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon have won the 13th edition of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2026 with a dominant 3-0 victory over Malawi at the Moulay Al Hassan Stadium in Rabat, Morocco. The champions stormed past a Malawi side that reached the WAFCON final on its debut, netting 3 first-half goals to extinguish the scorchers of Malawi's quest for a shock WAFCON title despite being the lowest-ranked nation at the tournament. Cameroon, who did not qualify for WAFCON 2026 but were invited due to an expansion of the tournament to 16 nations, wins their first WAFCON title. They are the 4th country to claim the title, joining a trio of Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and South Africa on the exclusive list. Cameroon was unchanged, while Malawi made 1 change due to a red card in the semi-final, and it was the former that dominated from the first whistle. They had never scored in their first 3 WAFCON finals, but scored the opener here on 20 minutes through Marie Nga Manga's header at the back post. Cameroon doubled their lead on 30th minute thanks to Naomi Eto's precise volley into the bottom corner from a poorly cleared corner kick. Nga Manga made it 3-0 seconds before the halftime whistle, finishing a team move to register her 2nd of the night and 5th goal of the tournament. Cameroon became the first country to win the WAFCON title after failing to qualify through the standard group qualifiers. They made the tournament based on FIFA Women's World Ranking. Cameroon ended a run of 3 WAFCON final defeats with this victory and became only the 2nd Central African nation to win the WAFCON title after Equatorial Guinea in 2012. And now from the Premier League, Arsenal have started the new English football season with a silverware after defeating Manchester City 3-0 in the Community Shield at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. In Cardiff. The victory gives Mikel Arteta's side an early boost as they begin their defense of the Premier League title. The Gunners took the lead just 23 seconds into the game through Italian defender Riccardo Calafiori, who finished a quick attacking move to give Arsenal a dream start. The goal was the fastest in the Community Shield since 1968. Arsenal doubled their advantage in the 28th minute with Kai Havertz heading home to put the Premier League champions 2 goals ahead. Manchester City struggles to create clear chances, with Arsenal's defense and goalkeeper David Raya keeping the former champions at bay. Captain Martin Odegaard completed the scoring 3 minutes after the restart, firing Arsenal's 3rd goal in the 48th minute of the game. Christos Stoli was instrumental in the victory, providing 2 assists as Arsenal produced a dominant display against City. The defeat was a difficult competitive debut for Manchester City manager Enzo Maresca, who succeeded Pep Guardiola, while Arteta celebrated another Community Shield triumph. Arsenal will now turn their attention to the Premier League, with the emphatic victory strengthening expectations that the Gunners can challenge for more major honours this season. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news at this time. But before we go, let's remind you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said the outcome of Saturday's Osun State governorship election demonstrates that democracy is flourishing in Nigeria. That's the news. My name is Usman Khatun Umar. Thanks for watching and good evening.